beautiful scene here in New York as Top Rank Boxing and ESPN debut with pay-per-view status on a fight card that has already seen the return of Felix Verdejo, that has seen the magnificent performance of Shakur Stevenson. And now comes the next great one, they say, that man right there has to face. That is Edis Tatli. And the list of great fighters from Finland is a short one. You broaden out the geographic search, and there are a few bright spots. The other Nordic countries have given us Ingemar Johansson, Mikkel Kessler, but Finland, it gives us Tatli, who has boxing skill, not much of a threat of power. He's got good feet, good legs. He's fleet there. In fact, so adept that he won his country's version of Dancing with the Stars. Yes, Edis Tatli is a Dancing with the Stars champion. He has also fought for a world title, and he has a backstory that is not sugar-coated in Nordic lore as much as you may think. His family were war survivors. They survived the war in their native Kosovo. And he moved to Finland as a refugee at age 4. Now 31 years old and 31 wins into his professional career. Welcome to New York, Edis Tatli. And now will be coming the most talked about young fighter in all of boxing. Teofimo Lopez has chosen New York for his ring walk. The ultimate attention grabber. And he is everything a fight fan loves to see. Power, explosiveness, a huge personality that demands you watch. He also has one of the most entertaining relationships with a trainer. It's his father, Teofimo Sr. Fiercely proud of his family's name, especially that first name they share, Teofimo. Dynamic fighter, and the dad who's outrageously bold, outspoken, with bravado. They have quickly become the magnet force in the lower weight classes to get attention. They are unique in their give and take. And here is the native New Yorker who grew up in South Florida, moved out to Vegas and said, "I'm coming home." He lives in Brooklyn. He came over the bridge to fight tonight. Boxing is his life's passion, but he gushes over his love, his fiancée Cynthia, who is ringside tonight. And it came as a surprise when Junior here leaked out that he has plans beyond this co-feature this week. He is going to get married this coming week, assuming he comes off a win. So let the next chapter in one of sports' most compelling family stories write itself here at Madison Square Garden. Sinatra is blasting, and Lopez is in the ring. Will we have another dynamic finish from the undefeated Teofimo Lopez, or can Tatli solve the riddle? Let's find out. Here's Lupe Contreras.
We continue at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. Once again, the action being brought to you by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, and being sponsored by Geico. This is the co-featured bout of the evening, set for a distance of 12 rounds or less on the line. The NABF lightweight title supervisor, Craig Hubble. Our judges at ringside are Bernard Bruni, Benoit Roussel, and Nelson Vasquez. At the sound of the bell, the man in charge of the ring, referee Ron Lipton. Introducing first, the fighter standing in the blue corner. He enters the ring as a challenger, wearing black with red trim. He weighed in at an official 134 3/4 pounds in his 34th professional bout, with a record of 31 victories against only 2 losses, 10 of his victories coming by way of KO. The former 2-time European lightweight champion and former world title challenger from Helsinki, Finland, Edis Tatli. Across the ring in the red corner, wearing green with gold trim. He weighed in at an identical 134 3/4 pounds. After representing his homeland of Honduras at the Rio 2016 Olympics, he now enters the ring as the fastest rising and most exciting star in the sport of boxing, with an undefeated pro record of 12 victories, including 10 highlight Rio KOs. Tonight, defending his NABF lightweight title from Brooklyn, New York, Teofimo and Brooklyn Lopez.
Chief seconds only. Chief seconds. Gentlemen, I'm giving you the rules of the New York State Athletic Commission in the dressing room. I remind you now, respect each other. You will obey my commands. We're going to keep this strictly professional. No unsportsmanlike conduct will be tolerated. Good luck to you both.
Perhaps a little more emphasis on that. We're going to keep this professional, no unsportsmanlike conduct. Based on the last time the world saw Teofimo Lopez, he was coming off a destructive win, a KO of a former world title challenger, Diego Magdaleno. He threw a behind-the-back punch in that fight. He flattened him in round number 7, and then he was just a little too much for people's liking on the celebration over the fallen opponent. He calls himself The Takeover. Joe Tessitore, Tim Bradley, and rejoined by Andre Ward. Dre, nice to have you back here ringside.
Good to be back.
Congratulations on the victory by your fighter, Shakur Stevenson. If this is to be the next step in the takeover, what do we expect to see from Lopez?
Listen, I like Tatli. Tatli's a good boxer. He's not a big puncher at all, and that's by design at this stage in Lopez's career. But I think he's going to give Lopez enough resistance where we're going to see some different wrinkles. We're going to see Lopez have to dig in his bag of tricks. He's not just going to be able to come out here and land a big shot. He's going to have to show us that he can also box.
Interesting.
Yeah, Tatli is, you see that lead hand out in front. He has that European type style. He'll leave it out. He'll lead with left hooks. He'll come behind the jab every now and then with the right hand.
Timmy, we often try to define in generalities the European style of being upright with the jab, come with the right hand, clinch once you get in, stay away from danger, very Klitschko-esque. Where does Tatli fall on that spectrum of extreme with the European style or more fluid as a boxer puncher?
No, he has that European style, straight up. You see that lead hand as he sticks it out there. Use it a little bit as a magic wand, like a magic wand.
Yep.
No measuring. But the left, he uses that to set up the left hook. You'll see every now and then he'll shoot the jab and then he'll sneak a left hook on his opponents.
Tatli, he has a European style, but he's also got some flavor. I've seen him in his fight. He'll move his shoulders. He'll do some different stuff. He's not just straight up. Right now it's the first round. It's early, so we're not seeing a lot from him. But if you look at Teofimo Lopez, he's not looking to box tonight. He's looking to land a big right hand. He's looking to roll with something and come back with his right hand. He's thinking knockout, knockout, knockout.
There it is. That overhand right came just off the mark.
And does it come with velocity?
You see Tatli, eyes wide open. There it is again, just off the mark.
Step back. Good. Box.
That was interesting, guys. Last week, we're out there prepping for Lomachenko as he was getting ready for his fight at the Staples Center against Anthony Krolla, which ended up being about as perfect and flawless of a one-punch knockout after he did damage in the 3rd round. He comes back with a right hook to finish it in the 4th round. And, all the talk was, of course, of Lomachenko this week and then Bud Crawford the next week and pound for pound. And you turn around as we're broadcasting ringside, and who's standing there all the way in L.A.? Teofimo Lopez. And Dad is calling out arguably the best fighter in the world. So he was asked, was Loma, what do you think of Teofimo?
While a lot of people talking about Teofimo Lopez, he is a fighter who fought 5 or 6 years in one weight classes. he never fought any top 5 fighters. Never. He fought with guys who just came in a boxing gym. It's very funny. A lot of people talking about, hey, Teofimo, hey, Teofimo. What Teofimo? He's nothing in the boxing now.
You were sitting there ringside tonight. What did you think about Lomachenko's performance?
He was supposed to do that. He was supposed to do that at Corolla. I didn't watch the fight, but when I seen the highlight...
Why didn't you watch the fight? You're sitting right here.
Huh?
You were sitting here ringside. Why didn't you watch the fight?
I don't care about it. I didn't care about it. I didn't care one bit about it, and they had to match him up with this type of fight. These guys are scared of Lomachenko before they even get in the ring.
That is Lopez last week in LA at Staples Center with Max and the guys. You heard Lomachenko completely dismiss him as we start round number 2 here against Tatli. And he's not embellishing. The story's not embellished that he came all the way to LA. He was ringside. He had his face buried into his cell phone during the fight. Sean McVay, the head coach of the Rams, was sitting next to him during the Loma fight. McVay said to me, he said he never looked up. He didn't watch the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Vasily Lomachenko. He came there, made his presence felt, did the media tour, came back to Brooklyn.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, not respecting the #1 fighter, arguably the #1 fighter in the game, Lomachenko. But I think it's his way mentally to, bring himself up, bring his confidence up, and bring attention towards himself.
Saw that pound-for-pound list go up there a moment ago, and you see Lomachenko on top. He's 1, Crawford's 2. It depends who you are, where you have him. Right now on ESPN.com, that's the way it is. But all the voters, which everybody on this broadcast is a voter on the panel for pound-for-pound, we have to have our votes in by tomorrow at noon, and we have the greatest sample set you could ever have watching Loma last week, getting to see Bud this week. The new pound-for-pound list will be revealed Monday morning, 10 a.m. on First Take.
You see Lopez continuously going down to the body with the straight left hand. He's looking to set up the right hand over the top after that left hand to the body.
No push.
Wasn't like Tatli was extremely busy in the first round, but whatever he was doing in the first round, he's not doing it in the second round, and that's because Lopez is starting to land those shots. You're starting to see reddening on the body of Tatli. Teofimo's landed some decent shots upstairs, and that's given Tatli a cause to pause before he opens up because he don't want to get caught with that big shot.
Landing 56% of his body punches according to CompuBox. 9-1 connect advantage to the body, Lopez.
Lopez going down to the body, trying to keep Tatli still. Trying to keep those legs from moving so much.
Left hook was able to get in that time from Lopez.
And even though Lopez is having his way right now, I like that he's showing different looks. He's not just doing the same thing over and over again, and that's the complaint we had for Dejo. And this tells me that as the competition continues to raise, Lopez's game will raise with it.
There he goes to the body and then works his way up the rungs of the ladder.
See a little blood coming from Tatli's nose.
Tatli's looking like, everything they said about him is true.
He's real.
Coming to the end of round number 2, and then it is the World Championship fight with Bud Crawford and Amir Khan. Of course, Bud Crawford is trained by Brian McIntyre, a.k.a. Bomac, who's with Christina.
Bomac, if you could summarize what your pregame speech is, if you will, to your fighter, Terrence Bud Crawford, what would you say to him?
I just tell him, Christine, is just go out there and have fun, be aware of what Khan's going to bring to the table, and capitalize on everything he needs to capitalize on.
What is Khan going to bring to the table?
First and foremost, Christine, I believe he's going to try to use that hand speed and move his legs and try to stay away from Crawford.
What does a win in this fight do for Terrence Crawford, for his legacy?
Again, Christine, I will tell you this. A win in here in Madison Square Garden for Terrence's legacy is going to solidify him as the pound-for-pound fighter best in the world and the #1 147-pound fighter.
Thanks, Bomac.
You're welcome.
Listen, there's a lot to do with where you're fighting and the terms by which you fight. And there's no denying what it means here to fight at Madison Square Garden, headlining a mega card like this and getting a signature win. If you go through the history of the sport, the pound-for-pound best always comes up with that. Go back to Sugar Ray Robinson, his first fight against Jake LaMotta. Rocky Marciano, after he was champ, dismissing Joe Louis at MSG. Roberto Duran over Ken Buchanan. Of course, Ali Frazier won the dynamic 14th round. Frazier's decision win over Ali, and on you go from De La Hoya to Bernard's win over Tito Trinidad. This is the last round with the right hand.
Yeah, look at this short right hand. This is the catch and shoot right here from Lopez. Beautiful shot right there. It wasn't a lot of punching power on it, but it was a, effective punch.
Heavy. And he slipped the right that came back. Beautiful sequence from Lopez.
Yeah. Lopez still trying to set up that big overhand right. You see Tatli, he's moving to his left a lot. And Lopez trying to lure him in by throwing left hooks to the body and left hooks to the head to eventually set him up over the top with the right hand.
So I think for the first minute and a half in the first round, Tatli kind of felt like he wanted to try to win the fight. He's already in survival mode at the minute 30-second mark of the third round. And the question for Lopez now is he's got to get creative. He's got to find another way to get to a defensive fighter like Tatli, which is not an easy thing to do.
Pekka Mäki, who trains Edis Tatli, told me, look, he's been on the back foot the first 2 rounds. From here on out, we need him to step forward and take the initiative, not let this kid get off first.
Easier said than done when Lopez is opposite you. That is the threat.
Tatli has a good offense, but having one and being willing to use it when you got that kind of firepower like Lopez has is a totally different story.
Being willing to use it, Tim. The decisions that fighters have to make.
Yeah, well, Tatli don't have a whole lot of punching power. And being very defensive, you're right, Dre. It's the punching power of Lopez that has him defensive.
I know a lot of fighters talk about going out on their shield, but it takes a different type of guy to say, look, I'm going to open up, and if you get me, you're going to get me trying to win. Like, it takes a different mindset. Not a lot of guys can have that mindset when the bell actually rings.
Yes, it would be the mindset of our partner who sits in between us, as he did numerous times, including the fight of the year against Provodnikov.
I wasn't going to say it, but I thought it, Joe.
73 Bradley fears no man.
Nope.
And was willing to, dare I say it, in the ring.
Bring it on. Take chances, baby.
End of 3. Here's Max and Mark.
Mark, Shakur Stevenson was in with a guy, Christopher Diaz, didn't really cooperate with him, didn't go for broke in a way that left him really vulnerable. And so Stevenson couldn't just light him up. And here Tatli also is not just cooperating with Teofimo. So Lopez is winning every round, but he's not really able to open up because he's in with a responsible defensive fighter. So what is Lopez to do?
Just keep doing what he's doing. He has a more naturally violent style than Shakur. You'll notice on the back of Tatli's trunks is Prince in honor of his idol, Prince Nassim Hamed. And Teofimo is such a good boxer-puncher that he's not allowing Tatli to use his feet. Best asset.
But because Lopez is a violent puncher and a finisher, it will be considered a disappointment against a fighter like Tatli, who's not a big puncher, if he doesn't end the fight violently.
But think of how much we'll have to talk about.
Max and Mark, great job. Max, I know you often talk about punch output and the numbers that CompuBox puts forth. The lightweight average in terms of average punches per round for a 135-pound fighter is 59. Tatli right now is only averaging 25. As you see, he's only thrown 82, landing 19. Total punches landed a 40 to 19 connect advantage for the undefeated Lopez.
Tatli having fun with some footwork right now. Staying outside, not willing to exchange with Lopez. Lopez just stocking, looking for an opportunity to land something on.
That was a good up jab off the hip from Tatli.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Lopez being smart, just going down to the body on Tatli.
We got a lot of fight left, obviously. It's only the 4th round of a 12-rounder. I like the fact that Lopez is having to think. He's getting touched here and there. and he's going rounds. Like, you have to look at your young fighter with the future in view. You can't be so enamored with the moment and wanting to get this devastating knockout that you're not willing to allow him to go through a little bit of fire. And it's not fire, but he's getting touched and he's having to think, and I like this right now.
I like it too, because that was the only concern that I had for Lopez. You know, he has everything, every tool to be great, but can he go the distance? Can he deal with adversity? And I think we're going to find out a little bit tonight, because Tatli is not cooperating. You know, he's a little difficult. He's sneaky at times.
Especially if Team Lopez is talking Loma in a year or less than a year. Like, Loma's going to touch you. So I need to see you get touched before you go to the Loma fight to see how you respond. Do you get frustrated?
That's right.
Do you stop using your offense? Are you getting winded? Like, I need those questions answered before we get to the Loma fight.
And also, to add on that, Loma has punching power, man. We saw it last week.
I like that left hand to the body there from Lopez.
One of my favorite things that Lopez does.
Clubbing right hands.
That buzz Tatli.
Tatli takes a step back. Left hook, another left hook, and another from Lopez. Oh, and he tried to throw behind the back when he had him in a headlock. And guess what? Ron Lipton, the referee, saw it.
The problem with Tatli is when anytime Lopez get close and close the gap on him, he stands straight up and put the earmuffs on.
Oh, how about that short right hand after the little shoulder roll? Watch this behind the back punch.
I like Tatli gave it right back to him. Though. That's a veteran for you. If you hit me like that, I'm going to try to hit you back.
Here's that behind the back punch right there. Wow, it lands.
And so does that combination here in the final seconds of round 4. What a night it has already been here at Madison Square Garden.
Five, 4, 3, 2, I let one go.
Shakur Stevenson won earlier tonight, and then he returned to Bud Crawford's dressing room. The guy he says is his big brother. Father and son.
It's over, baby. It's over. You called it, baby. You called it. Less than 6. We're going to the 5th. We're going to the 5th.
Teofimo Sr. just said it's over, baby. You called it. Let's get 6. You're going to the 5th. Let's see if that's how this plays out. Senior was very confident with those last words he just gave to his son.
What I like about Lopez's game the most is he doesn't neglect the body. We know he can hit hard to the head. We know he's very accurate to the head, but he's also very thoughtful to the body. And that shows me that he's on his way to becoming a complete fighter. He's got a long way to go, but he's heading in the right direction.
Getting caught with some jabs right there, standing straight up in the pocket. Lopez.
Fellas, you saw at the end of that last round, Tatli give him a big hug.
Yeah.
To me, that was his concession.
Yeah, why do it?
Too much respect for Montez.
Too much respect. You're right about that. It almost gave me like an indication that he's here for the party. Survival mode. Trying to give this kid some rounds. Not here trying to win.
Here it comes. Unbelievable power shot to the body. A straight right hand, one punch knockout. Teofimo Lopez delivers again. Maybe Maybe Dad knows what he's talking about.
Everything Dad has said so far has came to the light, came to be true.
Sure has.
Knockout. 132. Knockout.
Tatli now all of a sudden smiling as he congratulates the rising star. A knockout win for Lopez. Gentlemen, when you're in the fight game, you appreciate the body work.
We just talked about that in the previous round. Just doesn't look like much, but it's in the right spot, and you got heavy hands like Teofimo Lopez. This is the kind of results you get.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is it's not on the liver side. So I think he could have got up, Dre.
I don't know about that.
Come on now, he got the wind knocked out of him.
I'll tell you, Timmy, when you watch it in real time and you hear it in real time, it was a big blow, but you are the expert opinion between us right now.
It wasn't a liver shot.
It wasn't a liver shot.
No.
You're right.
It landed heavy, Tim.
It landed heavy, but
Everything
it's the wind
does
knocked
from him.
out of him. That's all it was. He could have got up and continued, but he didn't want that pounding after.
But again, you're Tim Bradley, so.
I'm just saying, man, I'm keeping it real, bro. I've been hurt to the body just like that.
Well, as we've done 12 times before, let's make it official.
I said no body shot. I see body shot.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout comes to an end with an official time of 1 minute, 32 seconds of round number 5. Your winner, by way of knockout, still the NABF lightweight champion. Welcome to the takeover, Teofimo, El Brooklyn Lopez.
Teofimo Lopez, who did the work to the body. 32 of his 67 landed punches were to the body. That's 48%. The CompuBox average is only 28%. Bernardo.
All right. Teofimo Lopez getting his glove off right as we speak. That was the hand that finished the fight. Teofimo, talk to me about the finish, because your dad, when I spoke to him in round 4, he said he's setting him up. He could get him in 2 rounds, but it could be earlier.
First off, I want to thank God, and obviously, you know, Jesus, today is Passover, and I just want to thank everybody, and I want to wish them happy Easter, and yeah, man, the takeover's here, man. You know, camp was different this time around. Wasn't the best camp we've had, but we still came out victorious, and that's all thanks to God. I give all my glory to Him.
Why was it not the best camp you've had?
I'd rather not say. You know, we're just gonna go back into the drawing boards. Hold up. We're just gonna go back to the drawing boards and you know, just fix a couple things, tune it up, and change it so that, you know, we come out better and look a little bit more better this time around. Next time around.
5 fights at Madison Square Garden or the theater, 5 spectacular knockouts, electrifying celebration. What do you want next?
You know, I called it though. I said it's not going past 6, and I said it's a body shot. And that's what happened. You know, I know what I'm capable of doing, and let's get back here again, Madison Square Garden, July. Let's do it, main event. World titles, baby. That's what we came here to do. We co-main, but now we're gonna be main.
You said this was your last co-main ever. He's well on his way. He's Teofimo Lopez, and this is the takeover.
And I want to say salud a todo México, a Honduras, España, a todos los latinos. Oye, vamos, baby.
There you go, Joe.
See, Honduran pride. Well, he made some comments there that get everybody's attention, specifically talking about what potentially happened. Beautiful scene here in New York as Top Rank Boxing and ESPN debut with pay-per-view status on a fight card that has already seen the return of Felix Verdejo, that has seen the magnificent performance of Shakur Stevenson. And now comes the next great one, they say, that man right there has to face. That is Edis Tatli. And the list of great fighters from Finland is a short one. You broaden out the geographic search, and there are a few bright spots. The other Nordic countries have given us Ingemar Johansson, Mikkel Kessler, but Finland, it gives us Tatli, who has boxing skill, not much of a threat of power. He's got good feet, good legs. He's fleet there. fact, so adept that he won his country's version of Dancing with the Stars. Yes, Edis Tatli is a Dancing with the Stars champion. He has also fought for a world title, and he has a backstory that is not sugar-coated in Nordic lore as much as you may think. His family were war survivors. They survived the war in their native Kosovo, and he moved to Finland as a refugee at age 4. Now 31 years old and 31 wins into his professional career. Welcome to New York, Edis Tatli. And now will becoming the most talked about young fighter in all of boxing. Teofimo Lopez has chosen New York, New York for his ring walk. The ultimate attention grabber. And he is everything a fight fan loves to see. Power, explosiveness, a huge personality that demands you watch. He also has one of the most entertaining relationships with a trainer. It's his father, Teofimo Sr. Fiercely proud of his family's name, especially that first name they share, Teofimo. Dynamic fighter, and the dad who's outrageously bold, outspoken, with bravado. They have quickly become the magnet force in the lower weight classes to get attention. They are unique in their give and take. And here is the native New Yorker who grew up in South Florida, moved out to Vegas and said, "I'm coming home." He lives in Brooklyn. He came over the bridge to fight tonight. Boxing is his life's passion, but he gushes over his love, his fiancée Cynthia, who is ringside tonight. And it came as a surprise when Junior here leaked out that he has plans beyond this co-feature this week. He is going to get married this coming week, assuming he comes off a win. So let the next chapter in one of sports' most compelling family stories write itself here at Madison Square Garden. Sinatra is blasting, and Lopez is in the ring.